What's up, guys? Your boys, 20K13. I'm going to talk about WWE 2K16 11 rumors that could be true. We well on the road to WWE 2K16, and the closer we get to the release date, the more and more everybody speculates what it's going to be included in the latest title. There have been a number of faces to the game that have already been confirmed. Things like Sasha Banks, including a new target weapon system, superstars like Low-Key and Damian Miz are working on the motion capture, a new stamina system, a new celebration system, and Jim working on some proactive material for the new title. However, there are those areas that neither WWE nor 2K Sports have chosen to release yet, as is the norm with new game releases. Some things just need to stay a secret to make the initial stages of the game somewhat of a special experience, whether fun in knowing everything before you open the box. One thing that is for sure is that WWE 2K15 needs to be a vast improvement on WWE 2K15. You feel that if the combination of WWE and 2K Sports have another discrepancy received games so early in their relationship, it could be fatal. Although 2K14 breathtaking brilliant more than make up for 2 duds in a row. Here are 10 rumors about WWE 2K15 that are dominating the internet right now and could possibly be true. There is no way of telling at this stage. Number 11. Create a wrestler slot. You can only create 25 superstars in 2K15 and none. Yes, none of them could be divas. Where's the logic in that? It seems that a lot of the creative suite was sacrificed for the overly complicated, perfectly choreographed interest sequence which left a lot to be desired. Maybe WWE and 2K Sports need to have a rethink of their priority for the new game. The 25 create a wrestler rule is a huge step down from wrestling games of old, which normally included no less than 100 free slots. Rumors are rife that WWE and 2K are looking to get back to a similar number for 2K16. The WWE 2K16 Twitter account replied to certain complaints about the current creator suite with, and I quote, "We do everything we can to expand in WWE 2K16. We have a great track record of doing what we can with create a wrestler slot, and we continue to look to expand and compress file styles moving forward. Good news." Number 10. Create a finisher likely to return. WWE 2K15 Creator Suite was arguably the worst facet of the game. The problem had been well documented and needed to be addressed in 2K16. It looked as if WWE and 2K are looking to redeem themselves as one of the most popular features looks set to return. Create a finisher looks certain to be recalled after Chase Stevens, an independent wrestler being used for motion capture, told in Attack of the Fanboy Facebook Q&A, the creative finisher is reshot every year because of computer technology getting better by the year. This year's game will be ton better than last year. If it's reshot every year, where was it in 2K15? More good news in any case. Number 9. New counter system. Yes, you may be able to reverse a John Cena attitude adjustment into a Randy Orton RKO in WWE 2K16. Wow. A fan took to Twitter to WWE 2K community manager Marcus Stevenson about a feature that he feels should be included in the new game. It must be noted that Stevenson's position means he can relay any feedback onto the relevant developer, so what he says has a lot of credibility to it. As Squilly suggested that there should be a way for competing wrestlers could counter each other's finisher move with their own finisher. He directly gave the scenario of where Orton could counter Cena AA with an RKO. Number 8. There won't be an ECW mode. So what feature game mode will there be? The same name keep cropping up time and time again. WCW, NXT, Monday Night War, Invasion, who knows? But you have to think that it would need to be one of the above for the game to be successfully received. Will there be over 100 superstars? No, mere internet talk at its finest. One of the main criticisms of WWE 2K16 was the size of its roster. We were down 83, not counting those made available in DLC packs. Those look set to stay with 2K16, however, in the game from a mammoth 103 in 2K14. There simply weren't enough superstars to give the game a long playing life. You were just repeatedly left feeling like you could have done with another superstar here or another diva there. Yet again, presumably this was down to the entry taking up so much data space, and with Marcus Stevenson openly looking at ways to shrink certain data sizes, we can expect at least a few more superstars on the new game. However, it will not be the biggest roster ever put together. 2K community manager Stevenson put an end to that rumor when a fan asked him on Twitter about the possibility of a live roster in WWE 2K16. He replied, and I quote, "That's just a rumor. There was no tweet." The first piece of baddies news in this article. Not bad going. Although he did go on to say, "We haven't confirmed anything for 2K16 yet." We have a lot of time to talk 2K16 though. Shoots of hope for sure. Number 6. There could be a version released on PC. Something Edge is likely to be over the moon about. He showed how much he loved computers in his little scuffle with the anonymous young man's laptop. In the recent interview, 2K brand manager Bryce Young claimed that his company wants to put their game out on as many different systems, for as many different people as possible. He also said that the only reason they didn't do this with WWE 2K15 was down to working against deadlines. This is why any judgment on WWE 2K15 must be measured. They had to build the current gen version of the game from scratch in less than a year, so more than likely had to rush certain aspects of it. On the other hand, any problem with the PS3, Xbox 360 version have no place to hide. If you thought they were rubbish, then there is no excuse. The fact that Yang was talking about branching out like this should suggest that WWE and 2K have finally got the game together that we all thought we were getting last year and have the necessary time to afford luxury like this. Positive sign. Number 5. Jim Vault's involvement in the game, the reason for which is still unclear. The series was outed by Vault himself on his official blog, where he also revealed that the upcoming title in the wrestling series was going to be really, really provocative, he said. And I quote, "And talk with 2K Sports to do some work on their next video game for WWE. Love the process, and from what I'm told, the new game will be extremely provocative and certainly has my attention already. Stay tuned." Whatever the weather, you would expect to see Ross behind the commentary desk in some form or fashion. The provocative part of that tweet suggests that he will be involved in some sort of mode involving the Attitude Era, maybe a Monday Night War or Invasion angle, who knows. It seems that we're certain to get JR in the new game, however. Number 4. The release date. No one knows for sure, but it looks like we own for an October game release, a little bit earlier than WWE 2K15 was out. 15 came out on November 18, 2014 in America, and November 21st in Europe. A number of reputable sources all confirmed to the same theories. WWE will try to dominate the fourth quarter of the year and the Christmas sale, meaning that a late October or early November release date is most likely. Those who want WWE and 2K4 to take their time while building the newest game need not worry. The title was released later last year because both WWE and 2K realistically had less than a year to build it from scratch. This time around they had the bare bone in place and only needed to add the garnish, so to speak. Number 3. Samoa Joe working on the game. Samoa Joe could well be in WWE 2K16. The former TNA Superstar teased fans with a cryptic tweet that left more questions than it did answer. He said, and I quote, Back in LA working on a new project next week. Gamers, stay tuned. Details as soon as the lawyers let me. That's all point to WWE 2K16, right? What he is doing as part of the game development is still very much up in the air. He could be doing nothing more than some motion capture work while he could also potentially have his own character in the game. It's a hard one to call. The former TNA World Heavyweight Champion is expected to debut in NXT over the next couple of months, so there is room for his character as the game isn't expected to be released until mid-October at the very earliest. Given his experience and the fact that Triple H had publicly stated that he is a fan of the big man work, you wouldn't expect Joe to be in what is still seen as dirty developmental territory for too long. He could feasibly be in the upper echelon of the card by the time the game come out. Number 2. Goldberg. It seems that Goldberg is trying to force his way back into WWE good book and their newest game title in the process, judging by comments he made in a recent interview. The former World Heavyweight Champion recently made an appearance on ESPN Sports Nation TV where he claimed that he's being more politically correct toward wrestling because he's waiting on a WWE video game. This could mean he wants to be in WWE 2K16, or the wheels are already in motion to get him a slot. WWE and Goldberg's relationship was reportedly sour for years, following his year-long run in the company. However, they seem to have patched things up when he was unexpectedly included in WWE 2K14. Before he allegedly criticized with the way his character looked in the game, now that it seems he wants back into the world of WWE for the sake of his son. The former WCW has gone on record as saying that he wants to step back into the ring, the WWE ring so that his young son, Joe, can see him wrestle live. WWE 2K16 will certainly be one way of effectively interrogating himself back into the mind of the WWE Universe. All this means that the feature game mode could be a Monday Night War mode. WWE already has access to all the major stars of the Attitude Era plus WCW alumni Sting, Hollywood Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. Although they may not call on Scott Steiner service for one misdemeanor or another. So adding Goldberg to that list will see the full set completed. We sure they all on board. Secondary players will be eager to get involved to show the world their impact on the business. Watch this space. Number 1. WWE 2K16 is set to be on video at E3 Festival. Personnel from both WWE and 2K Sports are expected to be on hand at E3 from June 16th to 18th to reveal the first detail for WWE 2K16. That's all we know. We don't know what details are set to be released or who, but typically it's going to be there. Since the event is scheduled for June, and the game release isn't expected until October, November time, it is unlikely that the full game will be on display. Typically, E3 is an event that is used by developers to showcase new specifics within their newest title. So maybe this is where they could announce any of the new feature detailed in what we already know, or maybe even Goldberg. Once more, watch this space. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.